A question every math teacher gets asked by 90% of their students is, when am I ever going to use this in real life? This is such a tough question to answer. The answers I give are always, it's really not the content that you're looking for, it's the skills that learning that content helps you to build. And while I fully believe this, my students did not. They wanted something better than that. And so what I did was I started taking time in some of my classes to teach them about the jobs they might want and how math might apply. The biggest realization a lot of students have is just how much math is used in so many different fields. The two that I'll never forget are a student who was trying to become a video game designer and a student who wanted to be an architect. In the first one, my student raised his hand and said, I'm going to design video games and I don't need any math for that. I started to explain to him how the calculations in the game is all done with equations, and those equations need to work in 100% of the scenario. And these calculations are very specific and account for a wide variety of variables. After I went through the entire lesson showing how things in video games are calculated, that student changed his mind and said, okay, I need to learn a lot of math. In the second class, my student asked me why she would ever need math to become an architect. And this lesson was a lot of fun. We actually spent a lot of time together looking at the way architects calculate curves on buildings or weight distribution across landscapes. And the math was actually really complicated. This really helped to open her eyes on how important math can be, even in an area where we don't think math applies at all. But I've had a lot of classes where students say, well, I'm going to be an artist of some kind, so I don't really need math. But even here, I would say, okay, well, let's say as an artist, you make $1 million. If you know percentages, you can calculate stuff like taxes and make sure that you are not getting scammed out of your money. I actually think that artists have an even bigger incentive to be good at math, because then you can be taken advantage of by people who are really good at math. And I don't want that for any of my students. Taking this time to show my students where math is applied in everyday life, help them to contextualize it and understand why they need to learn it, or at the very least, why it's an important skill to have. I designed Lumi with this principle in mind. Try a free demo at Lumimos.ai.